Hi everyone, it's Ashley from WDW with me. I'm flying solo again today. Darren is slightly busy, but we have been inundated with messages regarding where we got married, where we renewed our vows, and how we did it. So I have thought that today would be a great chance to bring on Heidi from the Central Florida Wedding Group to discuss their side of things, what you need to do in advance if you want to get married there. So Heidi is actually the co-owner of the company, so she is probably one of the best people to speak to about this. So welcome Heidi to our podcast.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
How are you feeling about it? This is your first podcast.
It is. I'm new to this. We'll see how it goes.
It'll be fine, don't worry. So we met when back in 2018 when we got married.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that seems like a long time ago because I feel like we do talk on a regular basis.
Yeah. In a way, it seems very recent. And then in a
Yeah.
way, it seems like a long time ago. And 2018 was when I had my first son, and now I have three boys. And, the first one's almost 8. So, yeah, time
Yeah.
flies.
Life is changing so fast, isn't it?
I
And
know.
I think it's so nice to still keep in touch with you after all these years and still seeing all your posts on social media and things. I know you're not the best at
I'm
posting
not
things
the
on
best.
social media. You've got a little right hand woman that does that for you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I
Um,
got kicked out of that position because I was not keeping up.
but it's so good that people can see like weddings happening when you post them, because the other day I think you posted a picture of somebody getting the speedboat entrance in, and it's so nice to see different parts and to show people different things that they can book as part of their wedding. So it's social media is amazing when it comes to promotion, isn't it? It's so
It
good.
is. It is. It's the best tool that we have, and it's like honest sharing, and
Yeah.
everybody can access it. Um, I think, um, as far as let's see, actually, you probably need to lead me on some questions because I'll just ramble and talk.
Listen, you can ramble and talk all you like. So then
Okay.
we then came back in 2025 and Darren had booked a surprise for us to renew our wedding vows, which I had no idea about. Darren was all for us just rocking up in like shorts and t-shirt as if we were going to the parks. And I was like, as soon as I found out, I was like, I cannot believe you were going to have me do that for.
Yeah, I was actually relieved when he emailed and said, "Okay, I did tell her about it, and she knows about it now." I was like, "Oh, thank goodness," because if it were me, I would want time for dress shopping and all that stuff.
That's when you should have said to him, this is not a good idea.
Yeah, I was dropping little hints, I think, but it was. I just was overwhelmed by just the kindness and the sweetness of the idea of it too,
Yeah.
how he was surprising you, and especially after all you've been through and you and the girls. So it was just kind of like, the whole sentiment was just amazing.
But I mean, there was only one, but if we were ever going to do it, we were going to do it at 10 years. So we were going to come back to you guys at 10 years.
You
And then
better.
obviously with, again, so we decided that we were gonna do it, and then I think just with like you say everything that we've been through, you just wanted to do it now.
Yeah.
Which in one way you're like okay, and the other way you're like you've given me about 2 weeks to plan for this now because you have been planning this clearly for a while. Um, but obviously the vow renewal side of it was a lot easier
Yes.
than the marriage side of it because as much as we'll go into detail in a little minute about that, but we had no idea at the start how we were going to go about planning a wedding in Florida because to us it was the only place we were ever going to get married.
Hmm.
And we came across obviously you guys, and Darren was, I think it was Darren initially that was emailing you back and forward about the whole booking process and how we go about it and things. Um, and then we'd obviously thought, well, do we then need to get married here as well? Is it all legal? It turns out don't need to do anything here at all. You sort everything your side, and we all we did was literally show up,
Yeah.
and it was all done for us. And I think that made everything so much easier. And Darren, he's a sucker for being in the parks, and he doesn't ever want to leave the park. So we didn't actually have to take a day away from the parks to plan anything. You did all that. You took it all a week, like all the weight was just lifted off our shoulders by you guys, and it was absolutely fantastic. So what I'll do is I'm going to ask you a little question, or in fact a few questions, and you just ramble away to your heart's content, Heidi.
Perfect. I can do
So
that.
we know. We all know. So can you tell us a little bit about the Central Florida Wedding Group, how it came about, any of the the locations that you go to perform the weddings, just anything you think listeners need to know about your
Yeah,
company.
absolutely. So we've been going strong for over 20 years, and I won't bore you with all the initial details about the forming of the company and all that stuff. That's just you know not anything that's going to help anyone decide where to get married. But what it is now, and different things have shaped and molded it over the years, but definitely I think the pandemic played a big role in it, because people really finally realized that you don't need to have a big expensive wedding at home if you don't want to. um, you know you can go away and you can do it, and you can make it easy on yourself and make it a lot less expensive than it would be. And I think that we finally realized that as a society, and you finally are doing something that works best for you and your family. We do have a lot of couples who already have children and that kind of thing, and they just want something different than what a big traditional wedding at home would be, and not just cost wise, but just because that's what they want and that's what would make them happy. So that's where we come in. And so we've got 4 different venues where we offer just kind of packages where you just kind of turn up, and they're each very different. I mean, Paradise Cove, we'll talk about that one first, because I'm not officially saying it's our favorite, but it's our,
It's my favorite.
yeah, I mean, we just like it for so many reasons. It's just so well rounded as a venue. It just ticks all the boxes. And each location has its own draws, and some people, want a totally air conditioned option. So we have the wedding chapel, and it's like a historic chapel, and it's really cute. And then Paradise Cove is like the venue where it's the tropical vibe, where you have the beaches and everything, but it's right in Orlando, so you don't actually have to drive all the way to the coast for the beach. We also have Cocoa Beach, which is like a true natural beach, and we love that too, because it's just so natural and wide open. That one's a little bit less of a venue and more of a just you're on the beach, ocean in the background, just the most natural option. And then Paddlefish at Disney Springs is really fun because it's just so different. It's busier, it's livelier. You're surrounded by everything Disney, in the background. It's quiet in the actual spot where you're getting married, but it's just all very different. And we've kind of just pinpointed those 4 as our primary areas, and kind of perfected it, over the years, of making it really easy for our couples to just turn up, get married, have a nice little, celebration. We we focus in on photos a lot. Photos are really important to us. We really try to capture the essence of each couple, and we try to make sure that they love their photos and they love their photo session, and they get the kind of photos they were imagining, from the beginning.
Yeah. And do you know what else I think is really, really good? So when we were, I think you did do this when we were getting married as well, but when we had the vow renewal, Kim, who did the ceremony, she sent us everything that we had to say to pre-approve it. So like
Yeah,
literally that was
yeah,
the only thing we had to do other
yeah.
than
That's
turn up.
That's helpful. It's daunting for some people. Some people don't want to write vows to each other. Some people want to just turn up and repeat after me, that kind of thing. And Kim is amazing at that, because she will reach out, ask you, here, read through this, see if you like this, see if there's anything you want to add. Some do, some don't. Some people change up the entire thing, and then some people keep it
Yeah.
exactly as it was to begin with. And that way, and she'll work with everybody, just email back and forth. She's just an amazing person all
Oh, sure.
around.
She's
And
fantastic. Absolutely
she's a
fantastic.
calming presence on the day, which is really
Uh-huh.
nice. We have a couple of other officiants that we work with sometimes too. Kim is our main officiant. She's with us most of the time, but occasionally she does go out on vacation. So we do have
How rude.
I know. Can you imagine? So we do have a couple of other amazing people. We're not an all girl team right now, but we kind of are a lot of the time. One of our videographers is male. We're not anti male or anything. We just it just kind of worked out that way just right now. But yeah, it's just for UK residents. I mean, you just show up. It's easier to get married here, honestly,
Yeah.
than it is to get married at home, because
Oh, it
you
is.
don't have to give notice. You don't have to do any pre-filing of anything. You just turn up with your passports, and
Yeah.
that's it.
And I think what we did, we paid you guys a little bit extra for you to go to the courthouse for us to do
Yes. Yeah,
to
the
get
marriage
all the
license.
certificates. Aha.
Hmm.
And
But
that was just a game changer.
Yeah, that a lot of people like that for like what you were saying, like Darren doesn't want to leave the park. So
No.
like I wouldn't want to either. Your vacation is your vacation and you want to maximize your time with your family and doing fun stuff. And I'm not saying the courthouse is not fun. For some, it's part of the experience and they
Hmm.
like it because, it's part of like the lead up to the
Hmm.
excitement building about the wedding in general. And again, like with the vow renewal, you don't have to worry about that. But if couples do want to get it on their own, we give specific instructions and the address to the nearest one, to where they're staying, and then we also offer the service where they can just have us do it.
And what I
So,
think is incredible is you can tailor it to exactly how you want it. Like if you did want to go to the courthouse yourself to get it, you can do that. Like
hmm
you're I don't even know how to describe this, but we just say what we would like to do, and it's like, well, we put this together, we do that, we do this, we do that, we do this. Oh, we can add a mimosa station, or we can add this for you. We know you like this, so why don't we try this? And it's just so tailored to every individual couple, and it's just so nice. It's not a bog standard. Oh, show up somewhere, get married, and then off you go.
yeah,
It's just
it's
it's so lovely. It's so personal.
we have some couples that want all the add-ons and all the extras and all the things, and then we've got some that just want it to be very sweet and simple and not quick and get it out of the way, but
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah,
in that regard.
and
And we love each and every one, and each and every wedding is different, and that's what's cool about it.
yeah, and I think seeing that from the photos as well, it just every day must be so different for you guys. Just to see how everybody plans things, what everybody's wearing. Just yeah, it's so nice to see on socials.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun job.
I, oh, I would love it if I move
Yeah.
out there. I'm coming to work for you.
They should have like an adult Disney program the way they have for college and things, where
They
you can just come and
should.
like live for 6 months or a year
Oh,
and
that'd be so good. That would
yeah.
be so good. Oh, what do you love most about helping couples in the biggest day of their lives? What is the best part about it for you?
Oh, that's a good question. Every couple we meet, it's like I've done literally thousands of weddings, right? But it seems like every single one is just this fun new experience for me. And I love hearing their story. I like to hear how they met. Kim is always asking people, okay, what's your engagement date? So she can sneak it into the ceremony. And like, it's just every single one, I'm just as thrilled as if it was the first one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, there's always
Uh-huh.
something cool. I love to hear people's music selections because it tells me
Yeah.
so much about them. And especially now, I mean, with modern weddings, you don't have to walk down the aisle to Here Comes the Bride. You can
No.
walk down to Metallica if you want to, or AC/DC.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things. I love hearing what people choose for music.
Yeah. And it must just be incredible just being a part of, and not even just a little part of somebody's day, a huge part of somebody's day. You were there on both of our days.
Yeah.
And
And this one was very emotional for me because I know what you guys had been through.
yeah.
And I just knew how hard you had worked to get to this point and be here. And I get overcome with emotion once the ceremony begins. Like you're down the aisle, it's going. Suddenly, my job as the coordinator gets a little bit easier at that point because I've done the music, I've gotten
Mhm,
everyone down the aisle. I can relax for a second, and then I get overwhelmed with emotion watching it,
mhm.
and I'm just like, oh my gosh! And then I really feel it all at that moment.
Yeah,
You
and I
know.
think what was really nice as well was obviously you offer the video link back home so that people can actually watch. People who can't travel can actually watch the ceremony, which is incredible. I think
Yeah.
it's so nice for people to
Isn't
see that.
technology amazing? It's just,
Hmm.
oh, funny story about that actually. So, right when the pandemic was happening, we realized it was actually Jay, the other partner of the company who was living down here at the time. He realized that people could kind of start traveling again, but all their plans were just upside down because all the guests that were originally going to come just couldn't make it. So we played around with Zoom, and Zoom is a fantastic platform in some ways, but it was just not suited for weddings because what would happen is we would make a Zoom link and everyone could see everything just fine, but then it would be everyone's faces popping up and someone forgot to mute themselves and someone forgot to do this, and it was a hilarious experiment because it made some funny videos, but it just wasn't conducive to
Yeah.
wedding streaming. So we found this app called Lovecast, which is really amazing. But anyway, we found this app that was just absolutely amazing, and it records it, it streams it with almost zero issues. Every once in a while, a signal drop or that kind of thing. But then the system records it in the background, so that if there was a drop, we can just upload it right away. It's really cool. We've been a big fan of that. And to
It's
be able to
incredible.
involve people, because if you're on the fence about inviting, certain people, you can still involve them without having
Mhm.
to actually invite them.
Yeah,
So,
that
there's
is
that.
very true. Very
Yeah.
true.
Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the cool thing about the live streaming stuff is a really good way to just invite them without actually inviting them.
Yeah. It takes away those family politics, family dynamics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Plus,
And
it's
that,
cool to have a video of it, just a
of
recording.
course it
'Cause,
is. Yeah.
yeah,
Of
we
course it
do
is.
offer videography, which is a really great add-on for some. It's the kind of the artistic, edited, multi-camera view of that kind of thing. But it's a little pricey, and not everybody either wants that or has it in the budget or that kind of thing. It's one of those things that's available.
I
If
think
that's
it's
what.
good if you were to come home and have, say, a big party, you could play the video in the background.
Yeah, yeah, kind of just
Yeah.
like cast it. That would be cool.
I think that would be
Hmm.
so good for people to see who maybe couldn't get onto
Yeah.
the tech. Because obviously, when we are getting married over there, it's always silly times in the morning because that's just seems to be when Darren chooses for it to
Yes.
happen. Um, but you forget that people back home are actually still working.
True. That's true. You should. I guess you need to factor in the time
The
difference
time difference,
when you're planning. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
And I
The
think,
venues usually have like a couple of different time spots, so you can sort of see what works best for you and for family at home and that sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, I don't
Mhm.
think that was ever taken into consideration with us. It was
Probably
just
not.
Darren just booked
Typical
a
man.
ridiculous time in the morning. Yeah, for both. Yeah. So how I think you've pretty much answered this question. But just in case there was anything you maybe didn't cover, how would you describe the Central Florida Wedding Group's style and approach to weddings?
That's a really good question too, because there are companies kind of like us that do sort of similar things. Each one is unique. Each one is different and has their own, vibe. I would describe us as just kind of fun, relaxed, definitely not stiff, definitely not formal, but not so casual that it's not taken seriously. Um, our photos, we put, like I said at the beginning, we put a lot of thought and we put a lot of emphasis on our photos. We want everyone to have an awesome album with like a well-rounded selection of pictures, and we take the time at editing to remove things from the background and different stuff like that. So our job is never done on wedding day. There's a lot that
Yeah.
goes into it afterwards, and I do I would never ever badmouth any other company. I do feel like we pay closer attention to our communication and our deliveries than almost anyone else that I know, because we genuinely care. I mean, you might have a question about your ceremony script the night before the wedding. Kim is going to answer that question. She's going to answer that email either that night or first thing in the morning, because we care. And it's one of those things where communication and lack of communication is one of my biggest pet peeves. I can't stand when I reach out to someone either by email or I leave a text or a message or something, and they just don't get back to me. Like, not even with a sorry we missed you, we'll get back to you soon. Just ignore.
Mhm.
And we just don't do that. Like, if someone sends us a message for something that's just not something we do, we reply right away and say thank you so much. Here's a suggestion for you of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that does set us apart, and that's our style, is just openness and communication
Yeah.
and flexibility.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes people have wild visions for their weddings, and we do everything we can to make it happen. Because
That is the
when you
thing.
have a
'Cause
vision, you want to have it supported.
yeah, you're not just turning them away straight away. You're actually going to, do you know what? I'm not sure if that can be done, but I'm going to try and see if it can. And if it can, I'll 100% try for you. You're
Yeah,
not
or
just
maybe
turning them
here's an
away.
alternative, and
Uh huh.
and we
Giving
like
them
a challenge.
options.
We love when somebody wants to do something different and they have an idea. We have somebody that asked about arriving on a seaplane, so I started searching it. And
Wow.
yeah, it's just kind of something that, like, it's fun.
Mm.
Everybody's everybody's got different ideas.
Yeah. And what about your turnaround time for like photographs and videos and things, Heidi?
It varies a little throughout the year. We've got our busier seasons. So here in Florida, wedding season is a little bit different than other parts of the world. Um, our wedding season for the intimate weddings, our highest, busiest times are April and May, and then September, October, November.
Right.
And so when you get married in one of those months, try as we might, I mean, we do try to keep to the deadlines as close as possible. Um, we will sometimes be right up on it, on during those times. Usually for photos, 6 weeks is average, but we try to send out a preview as well so that it can kind of hold people over in the meantime and they can see a nice little selection. And our main photographer, Jordan, is all about the preview. She loves
She's
sending previews
amazing.
because she's fantastic, isn't she? And
Hmm.
she's so good with kids, and She's so good with couples who don't feel comfortable having their photos
Yes.
made, and
That's
she'll
Darren.
tell. Yeah, especially, and it's not always just the guys. Sometimes you're just feeling awkward in that moment, and she'll just be like, here, do this, and tell you exactly what to do. And it's so helpful. And she's done our family photos, and I'm the most awkward person in the world with photos. So she's told me, okay, just do this and this, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I see it every day. But
Yeah, so the dresses that our girls wore at our vow renewal, we were in obviously getting changed and she was in taking photos, and she loved the dresses so much. And this was like such an icebreaker. And I just thought, "Do you know what, this is so lovely that you've come in and said about the girls' dresses." But she said, "Do you mind if I take a photo of the label of the dress?" Because I think she wanted
mm-hmm.
to look at it for her, look at to see
Yeah,
if she could find one for her daughter.
yeah,
And I thought,
because
"Do you
her
know what?"
daughter is around the same age as your youngest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she was like, as much as that didn't seem like a big thing for her to do, like she was just genuinely interested, it actually made me feel a lot more comfortable around her. I was like, of course
She's
you
like
can.
a real person. Yeah,
She's not
yeah,
just there with like she's not just a camera. She is actually a person, and she was so
yeah.
lovely. And obviously you'd must have said to her about her story, or somebody had.
Hmm.
And Darren had these breast cancer bands on, and she made sure she got a photograph of those
Yeah,
along the kind of
yeah.
the boardwalk area. And it was so nice, and she made you feel so relaxed. And I think that's a big thing for couples, isn't it, if they're not used to having their photos taken. And I think if you were to get married here in the UK, you would always have a wedding photo shoot with your photographer to build up that
Right,
relationship, whereas you don't have that when you go
right.
over to get
Yeah.
married over there. um and that just it took away any kind of, what's the word, so, and not worry, but you can be
Any
quite
anxieties about it
aha,
that you might have had, and
yeah,
then it relaxes you into it. Yeah.
and even Kim coming up to speak to us beforehand and saying, obviously I don't know what she was saying to Darren, but when I was in the wee room getting ready, and she was saying, "How are you feeling about these?" And she, "Don't worry, it'll be done in seconds." And she makes you feel so relaxed, and there's no reason to be. As much as I say this now, I was a nervous wreck the first time and the second time,
You will
but
be anyway.
you're gonna be. But she just made you feel so relaxed, and then Jordan was the same, and then obviously we knew you anyway, so that was a familiar face. And I think just even people hearing your voice on this podcast, they'll be able to relate when they meet you, when they come to have their wedding, because they'll know who you are, they'll know what you sound like.
Oh,
And just anything just to break down those barriers and break that wall down, because it is a nerve-wracking time, and it's the
it
biggest day of your
is.
life, isn't it? It's the biggest
Yeah.
day of your life.
Yeah, and it's true. Even if you do it on a large scale or a small scale, it's still just as important, and it's still
Hmm.
just as significant moment in your life. And yeah, the nerves are a real thing leading up
Yeah.
to it.
And what about
Yeah.
guest limits and sizes? Like, how many guests could you fit at,
Well,
say, Paradise
each
Cove?
so at Paradise Cove, it's a large venue, so it actually can fit a lot of guests. But what we do with the intimate packages, these are the ones that you can book in the daytime and that are just kind of the more affordable options. We structure it as that it includes 20 guests, and then you can add on to it after
Hmm.
that. So they kind of cap the intimate packages at 35, and then there's one that can go up to 50. So it kind of varies. Usually with our UK couples, 20 is around kind of the max that people sort of bring, because as you know, it's
It's a lot of money.
difficult to coordinate such a big thing with a
Hmm.
group of people. So usually it'll be around the 20 range, and oftentimes a lot lower than that. But
Yeah, I think our wedding we only had both of our parents, didn't we, and my brother. And
yeah,
then at the vow renewal
and
we
then some
had
friends
our
there. And
friends.
yeah, it's yeah, that's right, because he's got that connection with the Disney friends and
Yeah, we've
all
got
that.
so many friends over
Yeah,
there that it
I
was just
know.
let's just invite them. So what do you find in your God years and years and years of doing this? What do couples stress about most before their wedding day?
Hmm, it's a good question. Sometimes not leading right up to it, but in the booking process, if they're kind of on the fence, I think one of the main stressors when it comes to UK couples is trying to figure out if their family and friends at home are really okay with them going away and doing it here.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? It's kind
Yeah.
of like that's what they want. But sometimes what you want isn't the only thing that factors into the decision. And then sometimes parents are like adamantly against it, and then they say, well, I'm not coming if you do it. So it kind of just creates like a family rift and that kind of thing. The thing with Florida, and you know this because you guys come here all the time, once you fall in love with Florida, you're in love with Florida.
Yeah.
And if you get an idea in your head that you're going to get married here, it doesn't leave your head, and it's such a wonderful experience, as you know, that it's like you start thinking about it. And then if you have to settle for something at home that's just not what you wanted because of making family happy. So that's probably, we do have couples that get in touch and they do a whole thing where they're like, okay, we've got our date narrowed down, we have our package narrowed down, and then they email and say, I'm so sorry, but we just can't go through with it because grandparents and parents just aren't okay with it. So that's probably one of the only stresses. But like I was saying earlier, kind of COVID and everything taught us, like, do what is best for you and the two of you and your
Hmm.
kids and that kind of thing.
Because at the end of the day, you two are the only two that matter.
Exactly. And
Uh,
when you look back on your wedding day, you want it to be exactly what you wanted.
yeah.
You're not going to remember all those other little things and who ate what plated dinner at
Yeah.
the group of people that you hadn't seen in years before that and won't see in years after.
Well, that's it. You just invite people because you feel you have to. And I think
Yeah.
in the fact that you do offer the live stream, that maybe breaks that barrier down a wee bit more.
A little bit, yeah,
Because
definitely.
then people
Yeah.
can be involved.
Yeah. And then we've had some people that have said, "Well, Florida is our dream wedding, so we're going to just officially get married here at the courthouse with our family there, and then we're going to come and do our ceremony in Florida." So that's
Yeah.
kind of a good alternative too.
Yeah. I think there's lots of ways of doing it, but I think you need to narrow down what do you actually want for your wedding. And at the end of the day, like we've said, it's your day. You do what you want, how you want to do it. And if like you offer such a range of venues, like we picked Paradise Cove because we loved it. It's just gorgeous. Like to us,
Hmm.
there's nowhere else. And had we not have done the vow renewal, we would have brought our kids to Paradise Cove on that trip anyway to let them
Yeah.
see it because they were that little they didn't remember it.
Yeah.
And I think every time we go back now, well, you've now made us come back to see it
Yeah.
every time we
You're
come
going to have
back.
to, yeah. Well, it'll be scheduled.
And it's so nice to go back and take the same pictures to see your kids grown up
Yes.
and I think
Yeah.
that's why I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but I love it so much. It's just so
It's
beautiful.
well, like you guys incorporated that into your new pet, right? The name.
We
And
did. So we called
yeah.
the Kitten Cove after Paradise Cove just because
Yeah, I
it means
love
so
that.
much to us.
And then the other meanings behind it and everything
Yeah,
too.
there was
I
just there
I
was so many.
I told everyone about that right away when I saw
Did
the
you?
post. Yeah. I was like, this is so cool. I love it.
And
We've got a
it
little
just shows how
little
much you
piece of
guys
it.
mean to us though. Like
Yeah.
people
And
say,
just
oh, they'll go there, they'll get married, and then they'll go home and they'll never speak to people again. But it's the fact that you keep in touch. And I think when you post people's pictures, it's not instant. It's a wee while after their ceremony. So they then have that connection with you again. They'll start talking to you
yeah,
again, and
it brings it
you
back up.
and you bring so many happy memories to people just because you've just made it so seamless.
I appreciate that.
And I
That's
can't think of
that's the
anything else.
biggest
Like
compliment we can get.
I
That's really
don't
nice.
know how else to explain it because it genuinely is seamless. Although
Yeah.
we picked Paradise Cove because we want that gorgeous outlook onto the lake, but we also want the beach. We wanted like the gorgeous chairs and the just
Yeah, just
for you to
everything.
just look
And they maintain that property so well.
mhm.
It's year round. I mean, it changes with the seasons a little bit here and there. You know, the trees will thin out a little bit in our winter. We don't have much of a winter, but you know,
Well,
a
you
little
did
bit of a
that last
winter.
time we
We
were
did
there.
this year. We sure
Yeah.
did.
We get
Um,
thrown on the beach straight after it to warm up.
you guys were probably all making fun of us because for years we had said, "Oh, it's so nice and warm in Florida."
No, do
That
you know
was
what
it.
was funny was we obviously got married about, was it 2 days after it was 2 degrees? I'm sure it was 2 days after that. So it was like really, really, really low temperatures.
Yeah.
And we were obviously we hadn't thought about that dress wise.
Uh huh.
You guys were there in your winter coats, and I'm going, goodness, how is this going to look?
You can tell. You can tell a Floridian because we're in
That's the thing.
full.
Ah,
And we don't even have winter clothes. We just have to layer whatever we have on top and look ridiculous.
and it was so funny. Poor Kim, she was standing, she had this big jacket on, and then just as soon as the ceremony started, she took it off just so it didn't look like she had a jacket on. I was like, she must be freezing. She actually must be so cold. But it was a
Well,
total stark contrast to the day we got married. Because the day we got married, the heat was just insane.
yeah, I know. Florida's a strange place.
It's so strange, isn't it? But I
Yeah.
just remember as soon as that ceremony was finished and the video link was off, you were like, get on that beach, that's where the sun is, go there. It was so funny. It was just such good memories of that day and the previous times we've been, and it's just, oh, I just love it.
Yeah.
I'm not biased at all, but I just love it.
Sure, sure.
But I think
No,
that's what makes Paradise Cove so special, because there are so many
it's
different places you can get your photos taken.
yeah, it's an amazing place, and like I said at the beginning, it's definitely our favorite. I mean, we just feel comfortable there. We feel at home there. I had my boy's birthday party there this spring, and just it was everything
Lovely.
is yeah. It's and the family who runs it is just they're amazing people. They care. They they're great just to work with
Yeah.
and
And
all around.
that always helps, doesn't it? You don't want to go somewhere
Hmm.
where there's like frosty atmospheres and things. I mean, you're probably giving like
Yeah,
those guys a
yeah,
lot of money to rent this, so
yeah.
they
Oh,
need to be nice.
the other thing about Paradise Cove, as you know and you guys know, is it's so close to Disney
Mhm.
that it's practically on Disney property. It's this little hidden gem that's just tucked away right off the main road,
You do not
and
realize that
you
main
don't.
road is right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. When you're there, it's quiet.
Hmm.
When you're on the road, you can't see it because it's so hidden. You know, everything about it is just perfectly placed.
That's what a lot of people actually message and ask that. What they say is like, where is it? And the only way
Yeah.
I can describe it is where Vineland outlets are, right beside it.
Yeah, and
That's
they
how
say,
close.
"What? Like where? Like because you
Mm,
just can't see it from the road. You
no,
have to go
you
down that
can't.
long entrance." Yeah,
Although
it's
when we came down in the limo the last time, she took us in a different way, and I thought, oh, this is a really nice way to come in as well. So before we went down the entrance like across from Wendy's, down
hmm
that road, but then she brought us in a different way,
the back way
straight through the
behind those
traffic
other.
lights.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
was a nice way to go in as well. But
yeah.
you do
That's
not
the road we
realise it's
use
there.
to get there. That's the way we
Is
get in there.
it?
Yeah, yeah. It's a little
No,
bit less traffic and stuff too.
we genuinely had no idea where it was. So obviously, but now we do know where it is, and you drive by, you can see this big, massive Paradise Cove sign. It's like, how did I not see that before? How did I not see it?
It just until you're looking for it, it's just
Yeah.
go right back because it's so busy in that area. 535. It's like a lot of tourist stuff, a lot of gift shops, a lot of hotels, and that sort of thing. But
It's
it's
so
nice to
easily
be so
accessible.
close. It's so close. It's like close to Disney. It's close to Universal. It's close to the shopping. It's everything. It's right there.
Yeah.
Some good
So
restaurants.
what extras do you offer, Heidi? Like, if people wanted to do any add-ons, what would you recommend they added on?
So one of the most popular add-ons is kind of like what you guys did, where if you're gonna go, a lot of our couples, they're gonna go for a full meal afterwards, so they're not gonna do like food there. But we'll just use Paradise Cove as an example here. The Mimosa Station is great because it's
That's
set up
amazing.
upon arrival. Everybody likes a good fruity drink, and it gives guests a little something to kind of gather around and do, especially when you're having your photos taken in your photos with the kids and that kind of thing. And it's just cute and it's a fun little setup. That's a really good thing to add when you're already planning on going for a meal and stuff after. And then we also have all those little things, little extras that you can add, like the instant photos, like the Polaroids and that sort of thing. That's what kind of makes us different too. We have these weird little little extra things that you can add that have just been developed over the years that we thought, oh, you know what would be fun? Let's get our instant Fujifilm wide camera and just take a bunch of like Polaroid
Why not?
style old prints, and they look like these vintage, these
Mm.
wide frame pictures. And that was Jay that kind of started doing that, and we were like, this is fun, this is awesome. And we don't charge much for it, just the cost of the
No.
film basically. Just it's fun for us, and then you get this stack of pictures to take with you that are like, instant.
Yeah, it's
And
your
that's
way of taking
cool.
something away on that day, isn't it? Because you don't really get
Yeah,
anything to take away on
yeah.
that
I
day.
actually wish more people would do that because they're so cool, and it's like different perspectives too. Because while Jordan is doing her thing, like I'll just kind of walk around and grab candid shots of people drinking their mimosas and different things,
Yeah.
and you guys walking on the beach and stuff. That's a good one. And then we have like a package that has the boho truck. You've seen that on our list and everything. It's super cute. It's this little turquoise food truck, and you can do a wide range of things on it. But we have a package where you can do, it's like sandwiches and charcuterie cups and donut skewers and stuff. It's all like finger food, and it's open and welcome as everybody's arriving, and that's kind of cool. And of course, mimosas are on that list. But then, you know, video is something that a good amount of people add, and I think we had kind of discussed that a little bit before. Video is one of those things where it is an extra cost and it is a little pricey, but it's an amazing thing to have if you want just like a moving story of your day
You're
too.
always going to have it, aren't you?
Yeah, it's really it's a cool thing, and I love our videographers, and the way they capture it is just so romantic. It's great.
And
And other little things like the license service, that sort of thing. A lot of people take advantage of that one because, like we were talking about, they don't want to have to go to the courthouse. And then the limo, that was fun, right?
that was
That was
amazing. We
good.
got the
You guys
bigger
did our
one.
you did our
Ah,
maiden voyage in the big limo.
yeah.
That's their newest one. And then of course
That
we've
is
got the
amazing.
standard white stretch limo that's like the classic looking one. But as far as like the experience of it, the one you guys were in is like the bigger, nicer, you know,
Oh, the kids loved
interior and
that.
stuff.
They
Yeah, I'm
loved
sure they
it.
did.
Saying that, so did we, but
Yeah.
not the point.
Yeah. And it's nice when you get in the limo afterwards and you can sip champagne and just,
What do you
ride
mean
back.
after? We were sipping champagne on the way.
I know you were. That's why the bottle's there to begin with.
At what, 8 o'clock in the morning?
In Florida, there's no rules. It's all good. You're
No,
on
there
vacation.
really isn't. Yeah, there
There's
really
not.
isn't.
There's no rules against day drinking in Florida.
There's definitely not when we're around anyway.
Yes. So that's a good one. And then, there's other little things like people can upgrade their photos, and, violinist and harpist and that sort of thing. So it's all just kind of like I was saying, some people want all those inclusions, and then some people just want to show up and get married and marry the one they love without
Do you know
all the
what
bells and
I
whistles.
loved? I loved walking into the little room where you get changed and the flowers were just sitting on the chair,
It's like
just waiting.
they're waiting for you. Like, here I
That
am.
was so nice, that nice little touch. Because obviously you're not going to, like, here you would go to a florist and you would make appointments and
Yeah.
you don't know what you're going to get. Yes, you pick the colours, but you don't know what you're going to get. And it's so lovely to walk in and it's sitting there and it's perfect. And
Yeah.
yeah.
That's it's like getting real at that point when you see the flowers.
Oh,
That is something maybe worth mentioning too. When you book with us, couples who book with us, mostly I'm the one kind of handling all the details about, you just send us, what colors you like for the flowers. You can send us inspiration photos. You can send me the music. You can send me all those things. So you're not having to deal with a bunch of different suppliers to have to like coordinate all the things. It's all just kind of done directly through our communication that we've established. And we just have this like email chain that, keeps going, and we just add to it and have conversations between the time of booking and the wedding.
And ours keeps going 8 years later.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's hard for me to say goodbye after when everything's said and done and photos are delivered and everything. That's why social media is good too, is for us to stay connected. And then some people, I've got, lots on my Facebook page like you, and I'm terrible now at checking Facebook because, again, 3 little boys and a busy schedule. But it is great to follow people's lives and see the posts and the pictures of as your kids are growing and all these things. And
but also see the different countries.
Yeah, it's so cool. And, just to have these lifelong friendships of people who came here and got married, and now we're connected.
How far in advance do couples normally book their weddings, Heidi?
That's a good question. I was actually just talking to someone yesterday about that because with the way the flights are, and it depends on if you book with, a tour company or if you
Mhm.
book independently or that sort of thing. If you book independently, I think you can only book like 11 months out with your flights, but that's always changing, isn't it? We have some couples who go ahead and book 2 years in advance because they have their wedding date and they're going to set every other plan around the wedding
Mhm.
date. And then we have couples who book 3 weeks in advance because they think,
Wow.
wait a second, while we're there, maybe we should just get married. And they have everything all set. So we see just a really wide range. Um, we don't ever fully book, like where if you contact us and say, hey, we're thinking about getting married this summer, we will find a spot for you.
Yeah.
The more notice the better, obviously, because like we were saying, the busier months are like April, May, September, October, November.
Yeah.
Those get filled up a little bit faster, but if couples aren't opposed to like a really early morning sunrise type wedding, we can always fit it in, we can always do it. So you know some are way ahead planners and some are last minute and then
Yeah.
some are
And
in
I,
between.
I think
Probably.
that's what makes you unique as well, isn't it? Because you will make that time for people. You will make that space that
Yeah.
it's their dream
Yeah,
to
it's
do it. So why not just
yeah, and the
fulfill it for
last
them?
minute stuff is fun sometimes too because it's
Yeah.
exciting for everyone. It's
Yeah.
like exciting on our end because we're like, okay, let's get everything in place. Let's get all the vendors in place.
Yeah.
Let's get this in place. And then on the couple's end, they're like, oh my gosh, we didn't think this through. Now we have to find a dress. Now we have to do this. And it's like just fun and whirlwind. But
Yeah.
then most couples will give themselves, a little more time than that. I would say 8 to 12 months is average. A lot of times for the UK couples, though, they will decide first on Florida as a family holiday. And then, wait a second, while we're
Let's
there,
get married.
let's get married. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they realize, hey, we can kind of kill two birds with one stone and kind of
Yeah.
just, have it the way we want it to be.
And that's the thing, like that's what I would always say to people who are thinking about it. Just do it.
Yeah. I don't think
Just do
anybody's
it.
ever said, oh, I wish we hadn't done that. Like,
Hmm.
it's always the opposite.
And I
Yeah.
think it is the unknown, isn't it? It's the, oh, how many days do I need to be in the country beforehand to get married? You don't,
Mm-hmm.
there's no actual
0.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can just go and get married the next day if you want. Whereas here, if you, I think it's some places in Europe, you've got to be in the country like 4 or 5 days, if not sometimes
Mm-hmm.
10 days, and it's not
Yeah,
like that
even
at
like
all over there.
Mexico is 3 or 4 or something, which is
Yeah,
hard when you want to take a cruise and get married because you have to be in the actual country, not the other
yeah,
countries, the actual country.
yeah. Whereas Florida, it's not like that at all. It's just turn up, get married,
Yeah,
and there you go. And I think another
yeah,
thing
it's
we
actually
we did,
strangely easy. Yeah,
yeah,
they even make us like Florida residents. If we were to go and get a marriage license, they put a 3-day waiting period on it for us because they want us, I guess, just make sure we know what we're doing. But
yeah.
everyone else, out of state, international, they can just turn up and get it right away.
Turn up and get married. That's amazing, isn't it? And I
Yeah.
think what we did, we paid extra to get extra marriage licenses as well,
Yes, certified copies. Yes.
just
And you'll
because,
you'll sometimes
like,
need those
mhm,
for name change. Yeah.
yeah, because you're
Mhm.
sending these things to so many different people when you come back that you don't get that here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
So
other
it's good to
that's
have
the other
that.
thing about like if 2-3 years after your wedding you misplace it or something, couples can always contact me and I'll just send them a new one
Get
and,
another one,
and
yeah.
get it out because we always keep records of our couples and our license numbers and all that stuff.
I do
So
love getting a lovely little envelope through the door with your handwriting on it because you have the best handwriting I have ever seen in my life. It is,
thank you.
oh, see when it comes through, I'm like, something from Heidi. You can tell straight away, not the fact that there's a Florida postmark on it,
Yeah.
it's just your writing.
That's actually
It's
been
just,
kind of a funny thing in my own personal life and my family because I've been tasked to be the person who writes everything for everyone. So it's become like a whole thing.
no, what I think is if people are doing like the full meal at their wedding and they can't decide on place cards or anything, just get you to write the place
Right?
cards because your writing is
I'll just
so
do it
good.
during your photo session. I'll just write
Why
the
not?
the place cards.
Honestly, every time it comes through, and I was speaking to someone recently who've booked through yourselves, and they got a letter through the post, and they were like, "Oh my god, our writing's amazing!" I was like, "I know, I'm telling you, I know."
That is so cool to hear because sometimes I zone out about that and I forget and lately because it's been busy. We've been really busy to start, like I said, busy season. I had done all the printing and then I had stacked them up, and I would save like 10 or 12 to send out. So I would just sit down with like a glass of wine and like write them all.
Why not?
And it's relaxing and it's fantastic. It's like,
Yeah.
therapeutic.
So
And
that's
I
the
do
another
like,
reason to book though, because they need to see
yeah,
your writing.
that's right. There you go. I think that there's something magical about receiving something through the mail, because we just don't get things in the mail
No.
anymore. To have a letter, to get a card, to get that sort of thing that's addressed to you and comes in the mail and flies across the ocean, there's something just really magical about that,
So
isn't
I
it?
don't know if you
That's
saw
why
on
I'm
our
never going to
social.
stop doing that.
No,
I just
don't.
like, I love that. I think
Oh,
it's,
we got
you know,
something through the other day, and it was from our friends in Florida who live there, the ones that were at the wedding. And it was their daughter's graduation
oh,
card.
her
Obviously,
announcement.
that's like a that doesn't happen over here. So for us to receive
Really?
that from them was so lovely, and it makes you feel part of the family. But since I seen that Florida postmark, I was like, so I think we've just answered the next question, which is if coming from the UK, what do couples need to do? So nothing really, other than
Yeah.
answer your emails.
Yeah, nothing. We try to. Sometimes I'll have like where I think that I've given all the information to everyone, but maybe I missed, telling something. But like, I love it when people ask questions, because people
Yeah,
will start their email with, "I'm so sorry for all the questions," and I'm like, "Are you kidding? Like, ask me as many questions as you want. This is a big deal." And if I've missed anything telling you, then ask questions, because I want you to be
yeah,
clear about how it works and everything. But I try and give all the information about to where you know what to bring, what to have with you, what time to be there, how to go about it if you're arriving separately and you want to be traditional and have each other, you know, have not see each other until coming down the aisle, that sort of thing. We try to give everybody all that information so there's no guesswork about it,
yeah,
and just get you excited for your day.
yeah. And it is such an exciting day for people. And yes, they're nervous, yes, but it's a good nerves, isn't it? Everybody's just
Yeah,
so happy.
it's a fun experience for all of us, for the team and for our couples and their families, and
You see
just
that though when
wouldn't
you
change.
when you turn up, everyone's so excited for you. It's not just another day to them. It's not just, oh, it's
I
another
know.
day at work.
No, it's not like that at all. And speaking of which, it's kind of funny because our whole team, we didn't all work in weddings forever, but we all agree that it is by far the best career choice, for
Yeah.
everyone. Everyone kind of just joined from different walks of life and that sort of thing. Well, Jordan has been, taking photos for a long, long time, but we're the first company that has she's become like a member of our team, and she just loves the whole like we do everything together. We split everything evenly. If someone gives a tip, we split it three ways. It's just like we're
Yeah.
family. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And there's nobody else that's kind of like that in Orlando. Everybody's kind of just like it's either corporations or you
So
know
it's very corporate, isn't it? Whereas you're not
yeah
like that at all. It's
yeah
very
no we just
personal
yeah
and
we do stuff together. We hang out together off hours. We get together for barbecues and pool
you
parties
live
and
very near each
different
other.
stuff. Yeah, I mean it's a family, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
and so we treat our couples like that too, because once you join, with us, you're part of our group. So you're
Yeah, you don't ever
yeah.
leave.
I think people will sometimes be, this again, this may be worth mentioning. I don't know. You might just have to edit this bit out. It's up to you. I think people are surprised sometimes how we joke around with them and we're just treating them like friends more than clients. We're professional. I mean, we're not unprofessional, but I think that people enjoy that sometimes where we're not BSing. We're just kind of ourselves and we're just having fun with them and getting them out of their comfort zone for pictures and joking around with them and stuff. And we're
And
just real
that's what
people.
needs to be done because you don't have that time. Like over here, you would go and have meetings with your wedding coordinator. You'd go and see the venue umpteen times when it's decorated in different ways. You don't have that. You're turning up on the
Yeah.
day and it's being done. So you need to be like that with people, I think, because
Yeah. And
you
feel
need
comfortable.
to. It's like an icebreaker, isn't it? You've got to have that relationship where people feel comfortable with you. We keep saying it is the most important day of their life. They don't want to look wooden in their photos.
Right. Yeah.
They want to
And
feel
we'll tell
relaxed
people
around you.
honestly, like, hold on a second, we need to fix your bra strap. Hold on a
Yeah.
second, we need to fix this. Because we would rather you feel beautiful and taken care of. And even if it's like, hold on a second, this is a little bit awkward, but let's do this,
Yeah.
because that's just kind of how we roll. So
Yeah, and it
yeah,
just it comes across, and it's such a wonderful atmosphere. Like, obviously it would be the same in any of your locations because it's the same team. But for us, like, Paradise Cove is just, that's where I would say to everybody, you have to get married there because you've got the beach, you've
it's
got
your
this,
happy
you've got
place.
this.
It's
That's
our
my
happy
it
place
is,
too. I
it
know.
really is, and
I know.
people do obviously want the beach, but you do have the beach there, so they don't need to get. Do you know what I mean? It's
I
just,
know. It's
I
just
would
it's so
force everybody
close
to go
to
there.
everything too, and it has the best of both worlds. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's the number one reason why we market that one more than we do the others. You know,
Yeah,
it's
and
just
I think it caters to more people.
hmm
Nobody wants to
yep,
really drive an hour and a half to go and get married because then you've got that whole
yeah,
drive to worry about, not worry about it, but over
yeah.
stress.
It's a different experience for sure. It
It
just makes
definitely
it just
is.
makes it a lot easier on you. And you, like you said, you have the like the cottage area that where you can, if you want to slip into your dress, you can do that, or you could just use it to just decompress for a few minutes and have a few minutes in the air conditioning where you're just thinking about the next few steps.
We
And
didn't need the air conditioning in November. We needed a heater.
that's true. That's true. I think
Do
we
you
even had to
remember
put a
that?
space heater in that day.
Yeah, we did.
That's right.
We had to get
Usually the
somebody
air
in to fix
conditioning
it.
is going full force.
That was just exceptional circumstances, and it will not be like that on anybody
Oh
else's day.
yeah, I
But oh
know.
my goodness, it's just, I don't know. It's so hard to describe unless you've been there
Yeah.
to see
I'll
what it's
um
like.
I'll send you a link to a TikTok video we made too, where it's just kind of like a 4 or 5 minute walk around tour.
Yeah,
And that way, if everyone wants to kind of see, and I did it one morning before anybody got there. So it was just nice and like empty and quiet.
do that, and we'll put
And
it across every social that we've got because
perfect.
as much as we want everybody to come to you guys to do, well, basically to get married,
Yeah.
we want them to do it Paradise Cove.
I know. We're just a little biased.
Just a little bit.
Well,
I mean, everywhere
I
else is
joke with
beautiful as
Kim.
well.
I joke with Kim because I said, "Is this our favorite venue because we live closest to it, or is it because it's our
No,
favorite?" And she's like, "Oh no, it's definitely just our favorite."
no, it's nothing to do with that. I don't think it
Hmm.
is. It's just, it's got something for everyone. You've got the kind of boardwalk area where you can get photos. You've got the beach. You've got the gardeny bit where you get mad. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
And
and
you've got
it
the
just
main bit with all
I
the
love how they
lights.
take
And
care of it too.
mhm.
We even had, because we had that little freeze that we had in February. A lot of the tropical plants didn't survive that freeze because we had never had anything really like that before, for a couple of days in a row. And how fast they turned that around and replanted. I mean, the big palms replanted,
Wow,
just immaculately. It looks better now than it even did when you were here in November. It's amazing.
wow,
It's like out of chaos comes, repair. So it's
yeah.
just, it's we always thought it would be a hurricane that would take stuff out, but it wasn't. It was
It
the
was a
freeze.
frost. I mean, we've been there during the hurricane as well. That was
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
fun.
that's true. It's just during hurricanes we just get a lot of limbs down and they just clean it up and then it's all just looking exactly the same as it did.
What
So
would happen in that instance if someone was to say book during hurricane season? Like if something
well,
was to hit?
we've had a few times in the past, you know how it is in Orlando. We
Yeah,
get wind and rain, but we don't really get major stuff. Every once in a while, every 3-4 years, we'll get one where the city will say, "Okay, we were a little bit worried about this one. Let's everybody shelter for 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever it is." We've had a few times where there has been a ceremony that has fallen in that time. So we give our couples the option. Do you want to do it sooner? Do you want to do it after? Do you want to do it a few days later? That sort of thing. Most couples are here, for a good, long enough time. They don't usually schedule their wedding for like their last day here.
no.
So we just kind of just go based on what they want to do. We had one couple a long time ago that it wasn't a shutdown. So it was very windy and very rainy, but the city was saying, you can go out if you want to. And they wanted to go forward with it. So
Wow.
we did it in the hurricane under the pavilion because it was too much for the main area. Because that
Wow.
the lake is right there and the
Yeah.
wind was coming off the lake like gusty. It was kind of fun, to be honest. It was like they were just fun people that just said, "Let's get married during a
Let's
hurricane,"
just
and they
do it,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, and they had just that story for the rest of their
And
lives.
I think what scares people more so from this side of the pond is when we were there during Hurricane Milton, we obviously were stuck in a room for 24 hours or 12 hours, whatever it was, I can't remember.
Hmm.
But the headlines over here were people stranded in Disney World, and it's like, well, we're not
Not really.
stranded, not
Disney
at
takes
all.
such good care of you during something
Uh-huh.
like that. They
But I
bring
think
like the
that's what
supplies.
puts people off
Yeah,
booking during that time. Like, I mean, I'm meaning more weddings because, well, what if it gets cancelled? Because this is what I've seen. Like, people are stranded. No, they're not. That's just headlines. It's not like that
yeah,
at all. And I
yeah.
think we need to stress that.
I don't think there's been a single time where we haven't just moved it by 24 hours
Yeah.
or just, that sort of thing. There was a time we had to move one a few years ago, and they had added through us. One of our extras that we offer is a wooden plaque sign, like a big wooden sign with their names and the wedding date. So obviously the date was wrong because we
Oh
had to move
no.
the wedding. So our sign maker did found the original template and did a new number with new iron and sent it, and then they can switch it out. So it was like
Ah.
everything is manageable,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nothing to stress too hard about.
No, no, and I do think over here that as the headlines, it makes it scarier for people. Oh no, not booking a wedding at that
Yeah.
time because of the hurricanes. Like people are
And
stranded.
you were
No, they're not.
you were here during Milton, so it's a little concerning when there's a
Yeah,
hurricane and you not
yeah.
knowing, what direction it's going to take. They sort of tell us at that point. They know where it's going and
As
that sort of
much
thing.
as you
But
know it's happening, you don't know exactly how it's going to
yeah.
go.
Yeah, I think I can tell you this for sure. If you're a couple that's from the UK and you're on the fence about getting married here because of hurricanes, that would be a 0.005% worry of mine.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, me on the other hand, as a homeowner in Florida, I worry a lot when we have
yes,
hurricanes because I don't want my pool screen to fly away and I don't
yeah,
want my roof to fly away and that sort of thing.
yeah,
I don't worry about the weddings because the hurricane, it's over, and we always get, you remember, beautiful weather after a hurricane because
yeah,
it just clears everything away
yeah.
and then it's just really nice. So,
Yeah, so it's not. It's actually, if you're getting married there, it is nothing to worry about, and I think
exactly.
that's very,
Yeah.
very,
And not to make
very.
light of it because obviously it's a big natural
No, it's a
disaster,
serious.
but it's not something I would worry about wedding wise.
No, no.
Not at
So
all.
it shouldn't put people off booking a
Hmm.
wedding because there are ways around it. It can be changed.
Yeah.
Obviously, it depends on the actual hurricane and how
Yeah.
severe it is and how
Hmm.
damaged places maybe get. But
Right.
I don't think it's anything. It's workable. You would work around that to have
Hmm.
someone's day still fulfilled, and I think that's very important
Exactly.
to put that point across. But it's just the UK headlines scaremongering people again.
Yeah, and it's the unknown. If you've never been to Florida, especially, and you don't know what it's like with a hurricane, it sounds scary. It does
Yeah,
sound like it's serious, but it's not anything that affects us too much, really. Here in
especially
Central
when headlines
Florida,
are saying that. Yeah,
it is also, I live in Florida, so I'm very familiar with Florida in general and our
yeah,
vicinity to the coast and that sort of thing. And I know we're so far inland in Orlando that it's really not a worry anyway. By the time it hits the coast, hurricanes need hot water to stay strong, and when you hit land, it fizzles out. So
yeah.
that's what happens. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that is a really important point to get across.
yeah,
Just
it's
because it doesn't happen here,
yeah. And I
and
think the
people
main
don't
thing is
realize that.
too, any natural disaster. You remember a long time ago the volcano in Iceland and that sort of thing that prohibited flights and all the things. We just kind of go with the flow and we just reschedule to whatever works best for you.
Yeah,
In that situation.
yeah,
And yeah, a lot of people got
definitely.
stranded in Florida during the volcano. They were not
That's the
upset about
dream,
it.
though.
I
That is the
know. They're just
dream.
like, well, my vacation's extended by a week. What are we
Yeah,
gonna do?
absolutely. That is the dream. Just to get stuck there.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I might just send my passport for a swim the next time we're there, so
Right.
I don't need
Oh
to
darn, I
leave.
can't find.
So, why should people choose the Central Florida Wedding Group to book their big day?
I think communication. I think communication is when you book with us, we're not gonna just stop answering because I feel that sometimes from other not weddings. I'm not booking any weddings myself because I'm already married and all that. But when I go to book things, I book events and that sort of thing. I feel like they're all gung ho to talk to me and get the sale, and then they just kind of ghost you after that. But we're in constant communication. So
Yeah,
once you book with us, you're stuck with me. um,
for a long time.
that, and I think price wise, I think it's a great deal, really. Everything that you get with the packages, we keep them as low as we possibly can to where they're accessible for families and still cover all the vendors' fees and everything. And my husband jokes that I essentially work for free sometimes because of the number of hours I spend working on things. And then when you look at the bottom line, it's kind of like, well, but it's when you do something you love, it's just kind of like you love it, you know?
I was going to say that it just shows how much you love your job.
Oh yeah, I just like genuinely get excited to wake up every morning and see like what kind of questions I get to answer on emails. I know I'm like kind of a nerd that way.
That's a bit like us, though. Obviously, we kind of boosted our pages just now because I'm off work. But the questions we get, I'm like, this actually makes me happy because it's something we
Yeah,
enjoy.
it's like when you get to talk about something and fill people in on something that you genuinely care about, it's not like work, is it?
No,
And
not
it's
at
like,
all. I
and we
mean,
appreciate everything you've done. Like you've sent us a few, and I know that you put in a lot of time answering their questions before you even handed them over. I mean,
yeah.
that's so kind of you.
And
That's
that's why I think we need to just do this podcast so I can just
yeah,
copy
yeah, and they can
this
read the
to them.
transcription or watch it or listen to it or
Uh-huh.
just
Uh,
get
yeah.
a whole feeling of it.
Yeah. And I think when you send over your, obviously we've got our own photos and videos of it, but when you send over the actual one you've done and we post it, I think it will get,
Yeah,
every time we mention the wedding or the vow renewal, honestly, when I say the messages we get are insane. Like it's crazy the amount we get.
that's so
Obviously only a
cool.
fraction of them come to you, but they're still inquiring. It might be
Hmm.
years down the line that they'll then come back to you and say,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, you see this and you just kind of bank it in your mind and you're like, "That's something to consider in the future."
yeah,
And we get so many people that have said, "We were starting to look, and then the pandemic hit." And I was like, "The pandemic? That was like,
uh-huh.
6 years ago that it started, and that's how long they've been looking." It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but I do think that I mean, you guys are the only people we would send to if they were asking.
Thank you.
Only not only because we've had an amazing experience, but I think you've answered it yourself. It's how caring you are towards the couples. It's how much you invest in the couples. It's how much you get to know the couples beforehand. It's not just a you turn up, you get married, and off you go.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so much before it to speak to you about. There's so much after it that you keep in contact about. It's so lovely, and there's just such a lovely feel about it, about the whole thing from start to finish. And it's obviously down to you, but it's the whole team as well, Heidi. They're all incredible,
Yeah. We
so
do have a
lovely.
wonderful team, and it wouldn't function without them. It just
No, and
yeah.
I think with us, we were because you get to know the couple so much. You've got such a great team that everyone's probably relates to somebody's story in their own personal life. So they'll then do that icebreaker and they'll
Yeah.
speak to the person about, oh, this happened to me as well, or like, I've had that personally with you guys, with one of your colleagues, when we were there, and oh, this happened to me, and how are you getting on, and such, and it's so lovely that you've taken the time to get to know these people and actually speak to them on a friendly basis rather than a work basis.
Yeah. It's
And it,
and then meeting people on their happiest days is just incredible.
yeah,
You know, we're really lucky to be able to work in this industry and have that experience.
and to live in Florida.
That too. It's been really good chatting with you and catching up, and
I know.
you look great. You sound great.
I look great. I've got no makeup on. My wig's needing brushed, but hey ho!
No, I mean, you're just
I'm so
you
glad
have
there's
you have a
no
glow.
there's
It's
no
good.
video footage going on from this.
Me with my mom hair sitting in the sun.
Oh yeah,
So,
you're sitting in the sun and I've got the rain bouncing off the ground outside in the middle of May. It literally is
oh,
pouring.
that sounds cozy to me though.
No,
Like
but do you know
we
what's lovely? Listening to all the wildlife behind you, like the whole way through. I've been hearing these birds and it's like, ah, take me back.
Yeah, it's I did not do that to make you jealous. I just have to get away from the kids if I'm going to be on a call.
Well, thank
um,
you so much, and we shall speak soon.
sounds good. Say hi to Darren and the girls for me too.